Timestamp January 17th, 2026. It is almost 1 a.m. I've been up for a couple hours. I went, grabbed a nap at 6 p.m., got up again at 10. Why? I don't know. It is Janus! What's going on, buddy? I know, I'm walking. That's scary. I know. Oh, the whole chewing on, not really chewing on, but okay, that just got a little twisted there. The thing that Janus, please stop trying to kill me. It's right in between my legs. You okay, bud? Yeah, I felt something really hard on my ankle, which I think was your skull. I didn't know this. Pix researched it. But the whole, like, chewing on the cat's thing, which sounds violent, but it's not. It's like a power grooming thing that Acorn does with the cats. Apparently it's called cobbing because it's as someone would eat corn on the cob, and it's a stimulation thing, and it usually is a sign of affection, which makes sense because I'm not sure what I've heard Sir Scrappy A. Cornelius bark at people, but yeah, that's not typically how he rolls, and I have to assume by that because I've done done the dog thing for quite a while. I have to assume that if he in fact barks at you, you may not be a great person. There's something there that he doesn't like, and I'm gonna trust that. Something that I'm not sensing, that I don't smell, Cobbing. Cobbing. I can learn things. Even me. But again, my wife showing that she is in fact more Ravenclaw than Slytherin. She loves claiming Slytherin, but again, I just think she's trying to be, one of the cool, edgy girls. She's Ravenclaw. Who's a little edgy. I did the eggs. Yeah. The hard-boiled eggs were getting low, so I'm checking over my list. I'm going to be going back to bed here probably as soon as I do this video, just because... What the hell, man? I'm trying to get back on a normal schedule. Now I was a little droopy about 6 p.m. I'm like, maybe if I sleep, I can sleep like 8-10 hours, get a really good power sleep in, and I'll get up and it'll be like, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and, no. Woke up at 10 p.m. just like, boom. What now? Doctor Who wise, I'm so confused by Roku right now. So confused. Going to bed, Trial of a Time Lord was on, which is like, I think 16 parts. It was like almost, may have been actually an entire season of Colin Baker. It was his last season, I think, and everyone was kind of fed up with him. So the season is like courtroom stuff. He's put on trial on Gallifrey, and they used segments from other episodes as part of the evidence in. So there's not a lot of new footage per se. You're like rehashing the past 2 seasons of stuff, which is all part of the case against him, if that makes sense. So it's like, greatest hits of Colin Baker with court segments in between it. It's actually a pretty cool watch, but they didn't actually finish it. It's a 16-parter. It's like huge. It's probably it's got to be the longest Doctor Who episode, unless you count like the Key of Time That was an entire season, 6 episodes, whatever. Um, they didn't even actually finish. It was like they hadn't even run the final credits, which was weird because I was getting ready for bed and whatnot. And it was like episode 13. In the middle of episode 13, suddenly Tomb of the Cybermen, Patrick Troughton, Doctor Number 2. We went from 6 to 2, cutting off an episode mid to go into Tomb of the Cybermen, which is a great Patrick Troughton episode, but it was like, what are you doing? And I woke up, of course, with, we're back doing some Colin Baker again, 4 hours later. Whatever you guys are doing in the control booth, can you cut me a bump of that? Because, wow. What? I'm so confused by that. Blah, blah, blah. I did the carpet stretch. So I've just been, ticking off chores because I'm awake and I'm wired-ish. I did the carpet strip in the living room, which was getting nasty. I redid the hard-boiled eggs because there were only 3 in there. I always try and keep like 12 hard-boiled eggs. I just had 2 myself actually as like a snack. I had some cookies too, but only a few. We're not going to talk about that. Yeah, I got a couple things crossed off. It's cool. When I get up, I'm going to grab a shower and do some laundry because, that would be smart. I don't stank or anything, but I do try and be somewhat hygienic. It's been a day and a half, That's one thing. My dad took care of picking up his VA compensation check, which went to the home he's at. I'm still very confused by all that. We did our running around this afternoon. The only way they'd have that address is if they have the form that states everything that I'm now having to try and prove to the VA so that I can get the VA and the state of Florida talking to each other. It's the weirdest damn thing. It's like you have the paperwork or you wouldn't have that address. It's a 40-page form, and I know you guys like your full form, so it's on there. You wouldn't have that address unless you had that form, which means everything that I'm stating regarding his medical situation is in your possession. It's so confusing. I mean, not for me. I understand what the hell's going on, but I'm confused as to why other people are confused, because it's obviously, in a filing cabinet in your computer somewhere. Just click. Why is this complicated? Well, we don't have you down as a fiduciary or guardian. Then how did I file the paperwork that you have in your hand? You can see all of that already on file. I can't even. Yes. Yes, 1,000% yes. Acorn just walked himself. It's 37 degrees outside right now. And yes, sleeves. This guy, I got him. No. I wore my hoodie earlier. I'm not gonna, nope. You know what? You can pee. I don't need to hold your paw. You know how to do this. Whether you squat, hike, don't care. Ready, go. But much like the cobbing, the cobbing is, like I have so much affection overflowing, I must, like, nervously get it out. When he goes outside, he wants, I need you to be there with me. It's like, dude, you got this. I mean, Hex follows me into the bathroom. And I do think it's supervisory because I'm not, really good at this, and he has a clipboard. Um, he dips his middle claw in ink and makes notes and whatnot. Honestly, he's pretty easy. I do get notes sometimes, but for the most part, I think he looks at my performance and he's like, no, you stuck the landing. You did pretty good with that. We're on a good communication basis. Yeah. I think so. I'll put these guys together. Look at me being all organized. Woohoo! Go Team Wolf King. Killed off the ham bone soup. Actually, we didn't. There was still a little bit left, but I put it in one of the tall takeout containers so Pix could take it home. It's one of her favorite things. So it's kind of there was enough to like fill the container-ish, mostly. And I'm like, I like it, you love it, so, you got a quick lunch for tomorrow while you're working over there. Yeah, I know. Aww. Well, that was inappropriate. I like the girl. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but while she was here, we were here working and also running errands. I mean, she got here like early and didn't leave until like 4 p.m. She was here a good 8 hours plus. I think she had like 4 bowls. But yeah, if it's a like ham and cabbage thing, or split pea soup with like bacon and whatnot in it, forget about it. Am I gonna have to do those? Ooh, I may have to do the sides. Oop. I may not have thought this through. I gotta do those sides. Oh no. Okay. Should have checked this before. Okay, so it's the side with the weird, whatever the hell that is. I need to prime those. Actually, let me put one together without the screws, so I don't need to do that. To verify that that is in fact my only screw up. Because, honey, when I screw up, I do have the potential to go big. So, yeah, but I should get the front corner there a little better, huh? On the other side? But that side, everything else looks pretty good. I mean, that It's a drastic difference from what it looked like to begin with. Okay. I have made an error. Cooperate. Thank you. And in the wise words of Jane, and now I know. The work is not finished. Right side, it's not a huge area, so this should be, I'm not going to get it done the next 10 minutes or anything, but it shouldn't be like 3 weeks later. I mean, did I have the right one? Yeah. Suddenly had that moment of, wait, is this the top coat or the primer? It's the primer. See, that's how I know I can go back to sleep. And I washed the brush out. This guy. So I need to do that. I'm going to do the bigger section first, though. Prime it. Paint it. Oops. But yeah, it's not a big section. This should be nothing to panic about. Definitely kicking myself inside a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. Getting all excited about, hey, it's almost done. Not checking the details. Not, I'm a Capricorn Taurus. I'm not a Virgo. So sometimes I do have that good enough mentality. Just because I'm trying to get a project done. I try not to. Or at least I try to assess, do the details here matter? Or is this more that, well, I'll know thing, Because I have cut some corners on like some set design stuff here and there because the audience is never going to see that section or whatnot. And sometimes part of me is like, oh, but it's like incomplete when you're looking at it backstage, and it's like no one's going to be looking at it backstage except for us. And if we're doing a good job of acting, we don't have to worry about the whole suspending disbelief thing. We're in the zone, hopefully. If we're doing it right. I try not to overlap with what's already painted, though. Just because it could cause a weird, not bubble exactly, but just like a weird raised area or something. You know what I mean? Like 6 coats versus 3 coats kind of stuff. Oops. That is the ice maker in the freezer reacting because I was pulling ice out. Actual frozen water, not the militia group. As a means of snap cooling, I guess would be a way to put it. The hard-boiled eggs when I pulled them out. So the room that was Dad's office, he called it the Volkswagen room because he had like all of his Volkswagen toys and stuff on display. The last, yeah. No, I'm going to go ahead and prime the bottom part so I can overlap a little bit there just in case. Because I don't remember if that was exposed or not. Like very bottom, the like lip or whatever, I'm going to go, I just went ahead and did that just in case. Because with this kind of thing, I always try and paint. I try to. You wouldn't know it from this situation. But I try to go past what I know is necessary, just in case. I'm not even sure. Just in case visibility does go beyond, like, a seam or something. Based on the music coming from the living room. It's probably still Colin Baker, but it could be Fifth Doctor because they had like overlapping theme music. And technically, I think even the last season of Tom Baker had that theme going on, which I still maintain of the classic is probably the best music. I don't know what they were doing with the Sylvester McCoy Doctor Number 7 music. I'm a Gen Xer and holy no. Just no. Whatever that is, I'm going to rub your nose in it and I'm going to tell you not to do that ever again. And you're going to go sit in the corner and think about it. Because, I'm just trying to put this back in the box here. In case Brad Pitt asks, screws. Screws. That's it. His wife is fine. Screws. Remember that for me. Tanner's pretty good about passing along messages, so you know what I mean? I can rely on him in that respect. Funny, he's doing a lot better from a like driving standpoint. He's still like jittery when you like walk anywhere, actually. Not I was gonna say near him, but anywhere. But my understanding is that's kind of a Chihuahua thing in general. I don't know, I've never had a Chihuahua before. But my wife and I definitely think that he was, unfortunately, the Jan in the Brady Bunch here. Because my dad was all about Trip, carrying the other one around, pampering him, you know, being all Paris Hilton with him. So we think this guy was Jan, you know. So we're paying attention to him, giving him scritches, giving him cookies, you know. The stuff you do for a dog when you don't actually have contempt for them. And he's really responding positively to it, which just reinforces our idea. I'm trying to stack these so that I can fit those in here. Stop that. Because I like the idea of them drying in the cabinet so that dust and stuff doesn't settle on what I've just done. Because we are kicking up some dust. So putting it behind, you know, in a cabinet where nothing will settle on it. So we think that my parents, because I found paperwork about this, my parents started looking for a pair bonded couple of small dogs under 20 pounds. Their parameters, I've seen the paperwork, in January of 24. That's when they began their search. So these two came into their lives January 24 or sometime thereafter. Because investigation, paperwork tells you when they were looking for something that they have, therefore that's at least when they were still looking for, they didn't have them yet. So what that means is for a year and a half-ish, it's just curled up next to my foot. If our summations are correct, that means that for a year to a year and a half, guessing my parents probably were able to find their senior dogs, pair bonded senior dogs. It's not too difficult to find senior dogs because no one ever wants to adopt them. You know, they are sometimes when you see if they go to a no-kill shelter, senior dogs, they can be there a year or two. Hell, I saw a video of a dog that apparently was at a no-kill shelter for like 6 years. He got dumped when he was like 5. He's 11 now. You know, he's almost become part of the staff almost. But yeah, I mean, if our math is right, if our guesswork is right, this guy has been the background dog, getting 0 to 0.1 attention for a year, watching his sibling. I don't know if they were actually brothers. I think they were just raised together. His Trip was like, what do they call it, like a teddy bear chihuahua, had the like smush face thing going on. And this guy's, honestly, he looks like, I don't know if he's a long-haired chihuahua or like a chihuahua Yorkie mix, maybe. I don't know. I haven't been able to find paperwork on their actual adoption. But he has been, and yeah, Acorn still gets more attention than this guy does from me. Acorn's my dog. But he is still getting attention. But he was going without attention for probably a year and a half. And then when I say going without attention, I mean on one occasion we came over to check on my dad, and my dad was walking around with Trip under his arm. And I think I told you guys this once before. We're like, cool man. Where's Tanner? And my dad was like, who? Your other dog? Tanner? Oh. I don't know. Okay. And we looked and looked and finally found him outside, like under a tree, panting. This is like 1 or 2 in the afternoon. We're like, you know, how do you get outside, Dad? He's in the backyard. Oh, I let him walk last night. It was sundown. It was nice and cool. We went outside for a little while, and, you know, but then we came back in. It's like, when you say we came back in, who all is in the we? And he's like, why? I mean, I had Trip with me. It's like, did you have Tanner with you? I think he came in. It's like, yeah, no, he didn't come in with you. He's been, you know, outside from 6 p.m. to 2 p.m. the following day, and you didn't notice. You didn't notice. I mean, he's only, you know, 10 pounds or whatever, but an entire dog was missing from your house for almost an entire day. And if we hadn't stopped by, you might not have even realized it, you know, for a little while. Yeah, but he came back in and he hit that water bowl like he was a camel reloading. Just an example. You know. Cats, it's easy to overlook a cat unless they're like very social with you. Like if Hex were missing, I'd notice. You know, if Janus were missing, I might not, because he hides in the garage. He'll come out if he hears me, if he knows cookie time's happening, and it's so cool that he's coming out for that. But I might not notice him for a day. There might be that, you know, I don't remember Janus coming out for cookie time and he didn't come out when I was doing breakfast. Let me go out there and make sure he's okay, and that's happened a couple times. If Hex is missing more than 12 hours, which he is a scoundrel, so there have been, you know, even 6-hour periods where I haven't seen Hex in a minute, but a day? No, if I haven't seen Hex, 6 hours, 8 hours, whatnot, I'm looking for him at that point. But my dad wasn't looking because he didn't even realize, didn't even notice. So, Jan, that's what it is. Oh, I'm doing some of the Kawaii Vanilla Macadamia. So I think Tiny's down, and mine, all mine. And honestly, Tiny doesn't hate the vanilla macadamia, but there isn't the zeal, the glee, that I experience with it. So I'm not keeping the good stuff from my kids. It's you actually don't care, so I'm gonna enjoy this while you're not awake because oh, this is ham and cabbage soup. Parallel with you get me. Oh man. So I pulled out some pre-bagged chicken, letting it defrost in the fridge currently. I'll do something with that for Tiny and me for the weekend. Because it's not coming over Sunday with the VA shenanigans. She was going to try and start setting up Friday, Saturday as her weekend and then come over Sunday so I could be part of the mom call. But with the VA shenanigans, we wound up having to run around and do errands today to try and get that all resolved. You have the paperwork. If you didn't have the paperwork, you couldn't have done everything you just did wrong. You wouldn't have had the information to process it incorrectly. You know what I mean? You sent this to the wrong place. You sent this to the wrong place. The addresses that you're working with are proof that you have the paperwork because that's the only way you could have acquired them. Would you ask my dad? Good luck. Yeah, in the VA, there's some forms they want us to get filled out and have my dad sign. It's like, his signature isn't actually valid. He's been declared incompetent. His signature is worthless. He cannot sign any documents. I mean, he can. Provided he's able to actually sign, he can, but it has no, intrinsic value, whatnot. It means as much as artwork that your 3-year-old did that you put on the fridge. It's that serious of a document, which is to say, it's like invalidated. I'm sure there's better legal terms for it, but I'm not a lawyer. But they're like, oh no, he has to sign it. It's like, okay, cool. Who else can I talk to? Because what if my dad was in a coma and I was trying to get the fiduciary rights in place? Would he need to sign documents then? And if so, how would that work? I actually asked one of the people I talked to, and they were like, well, I mean, he can't sign if he's in a coma. And I'm like, he has advanced dementia. Physically, he can move around, and the lights look like they're on, but it's on a burglar timer. There's actually nobody there right now. Which is true sometimes and isn't true sometimes. Sometimes he's alert and aware, and then the rest of the time he doesn't know who I am and he wants to come home so he can see mom. Good times. Yeah. So, yeah. Knocked a bunch of stuff out. A lot of little stuff today. Pix did a fantastic job on the carpet in there, in my dad's office. It's funny, not funny. I'll show you. You can't necessarily see the before because that's the before. It's okay. You're okay. You're okay. Yeah, you're okay. Oh, that's growing on me. Acorn. I want you to enjoy this while you can, because when Alex moves in here, he's probably not going to let you do this. Just letting you know. Carpet looks great. You can still see a little bit of the dinginess here and there. There was a path, basically, sort of, depending on the month, from the door to about here, because my dad had his desk right here. But the rest of the carpet's not too bad because for the past at least 2 years, if not 4 or 5, there were 2 layers of furniture coming out from the wall, and then just huge amounts of bullshit. We'll go with bullshit. Just kind of strewn around and stacked up and whatnot. So there was stuff on the ground preventing the carpet from getting dirty, basically. But yeah, the path leading in and to the desk was something between a blue-gray and a brown. Nasty. So pulled out the, they still had the carpet cleaner that we picked up 2 years ago. The bag with all the attachments is missing, which that's pretty annoying. Because it has, I feel like Mrs. Lovett. And it can't be traced. Upholstery tools, all the different hose gobbity-goo that attaches to it that allows you to do more than just carpet. There's like maybe somewhere here. They've had 2 years to destroy and lose things, so we're not sure. We'd picked that up at Ollie's, actually, when in 23, I remember when we got that, because in May of 2023, Adult Services and another Baycare had basically, Baycare is like a nursing group, they do home health care and stuff. Baycare had, it wasn't us, it's not us. Baycare had informed the state of Florida that there were problems here. May of 2023, they informed the state of Florida in their own way. It's a medical group, I don't know what channels they have, but they had informed the state of Florida that there are problems here. That the man in the house was showing signs of dementia, which could be a problem. It was not clean. There were issues. And Mom had been bouncing back and forth in the hospitals and all that. And at that point, that was like a month into us having like come here full time. But one of the nurses from Baycare basically told my mom, if you don't handle this, steps will be taken. And when she left, my mom was like, I don't know what exactly that means. I'm like, and Pix and I laid into him. We're like, what it means is they're going to put him in a home and you're probably in trouble for not getting him taken care of. The bullshit that is here, they are aware. Other people are now watching you and taking notes, and they are aware of the bullshit. And we know that you like to put your head in the sand, but that time has passed because they will put him in a home. And she's like, well, we can't allow that. I'm like, what are you going to use, man? Harsh language? You know, get your life right. Because what they're seeing is a woman that isn't in good health, that can barely take care of herself, attempting to take care of a man with dementia who clearly needs supervision that you can't provide. That's what that conversation was. She's like, well, what do we do? I'm like, you fucking listen to us for a minute. Because we've been trying to help you for like a month or two, and you're resisting the change that must take place. Okay, that makes sense to me. It's like, oh, okay, good. You know, and then we became ninja locksmiths who, you know, break in and steal things and without a trace. I am so tired from all of that. 2 years, almost 3 years ago, and I'm still exhausted from it all. No wonder my sleep schedule is screwed, right? If you've been through anything like this, probably everything I'm saying right now, you're like, oh, honey, I've been there. If you haven't, oh my God. Go out of your way to not go through this. Get your paperwork in place while people still have the ability to sign things. Don't try and take advantage of anybody. That's not cool either. The state of Florida has a lot of safeguards regarding that, which is part of what made it hard for us to do what actually needed to be done when it needed to be done. Is because there are safeguards in place to make sure that those meddling kids and their talking dog don't, you know, put mom and dad in a home and take their money. There are safeguards in place, but unfortunately, those safeguards can be a real problem when the situation has gone too far, because those safeguards are still there. So now you're having to deal with legitimate safeguards, even though there is a horrible problem on the other side of that wall. True story. So, but yeah, my dad is, he's fine. He's great. He's not. He doesn't have any idea what's going on right now. I can't fix him. So, I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. I'm gonna get the seat cushion done on that stupid side panel. Man, I should have checked that. Bonehead for the not win. Thank you. Yes, I'm here all week. Yeah, I'll get it wrapped up. Just another 3 little steps, basically. Damn it. But if that's the worst of my problems right now, man, I'm great. Health check wise, chest tightness, normal anxiety, dealing with my dad's paperwork, and the bullshit at large regarding my dad. Again, you know, it's that whole maybe it's Maybelline thing, you know, is it COPD or is it anxiety? I don't know, because some of the symptoms are the exact same damn thing. I mean, I know that I have emphysema. I know that I've been diagnosed with that. I'm well aware of that. But otherwise, I don't know. I know I don't need oxygen, so I know I'm not, you know, too far down the path there. But, it'd be really nice if we can get everything set up to where, keeping it real, my dad will most likely die this year. Just progression of the disease. He most likely will die this year. It's just science. You know, he's in advanced stage. Advanced stage is typically 1 to 2 years, and he's past the 1 year mark. He's having motor function issues. Memory issues are incredible. He's having communication issues now. He's still verbal, but he's slurring his words a lot more, choosing way incorrect words, not being able to remember certain words. You know, this is the time when, on a cognitive test, as an example, you know, a horse might get, or a giraffe might get described as a stretchy horse. Well, that's a horse that has a stretchy neck. Great, what's it called? A stretchy horse. You know, that it's an example. I'm not saying that my dad's done that, but that's when you start not remembering specific words and whatnot. I mean, I know the last time we took a cognitive test was February of 2025, and he got an F. It wasn't great. He got some stuff right. The clock, the drawing the clock part. This is an engineer. The drawing the clock segment, because if you guys saw it was a tweet from AOC a while back about, did you find the clock difficult? That one was tough for me. There is a draw clock thing on a typical cognitive test, which means, yes, the orange guy, he's bragging about taking the cognitive tests and acing them, proving that he's highly intelligent. That's to see if you have dementia. And if they keep giving him those tests over and over, number one, they're not going to tell him if he aced it or not. I mean, they may tell him, you did great, buddy. But they're not going to necessarily tell him the truth. But if they're giving you cognitive tests on the regular, that means they think something's really wrong. That means they think something's really wrong. It's not like, you know, encore, they're calling you back on stage to sing another song. That means they have legitimate concerns. And maybe you're not passing them, and now they're just kind of tracking how badly you fail them before someone does something like 25th Amendment. It's a running theory I have. That, like, Rubio or one of those guys is like, keep giving him those tests. Let us know when, you know, when we need to go ahead and 25 this. Because we're well aware there's a problem. They know. They're not stupid. And all that time screaming about Sleepy Joe. Yeah, okay. Hypocrite much? Anyway, my thoughts. And I've seen a highly intelligent man fall apart with dementia. So I've seen it from an even higher apex go way down, as opposed to the bar we started with here. But anyway, yeah, I don't have really high opinions of that particular parasite. So anyway, I'm gonna call it here. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a nap. Hug your parents, hug your kids, call your mom, whatever you gotta do. Take advantage of the time you got. Okay? And along with that, make it a great day.